Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very warm welcome on this beautiful Thursday, the day of Ashura. But it's also World Humanitarian Day. And what a day better than to give back to others that are in absolute dire need. And this is where Asima Musa from FMYO and of course MFH, if I got that right, have come into play. You know, as we know on the day of Ashura, it's about the head of the household going out and getting something for the family and making people feel special. And should we say, creating that kindness and that compassion and that love out there. And that's what it's about today. But today, I think it's being done on a very phenomenal basis. So I want to thank you for taking the time to join us Facebook Live. We are on Salam Media on the show. Tell us about your project today. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. As I'm standing here, I'm seeing the amount of dags and it's blowing me away.
Wa alaikum salam. Thanks for having us on your show, Nafisa. So Muslims for Humanity, I'm sure most people around the country are aware, is a brainchild of some businessmen in the town. And essentially what happened last year during lockdown was they decided to pool together the resources that were available. A lot of businesses suffered, and so to get the NGOs all on one page and to get them to assist collectively, just created this new platform that was essentially Muslims for Humanity. So when our cousin Shoaib called us last week and said, we've been doing this Ashura feed now for this is our second year, would Khalid like to join? We jumped at the opportunity. I'm sure you all know that Sadaqah is a gift from Allah to you. So if you get that opportunity, Allah's handing you a gift. It's not about the recipient, it's about the people that are actually doing the Sadaqah. So I approached organizations in the area. I called Caring Women's Forum Johannesburg. Shoaib called Caring Women's Forum Pretoria. FMY was on board. We contacted Neil SA and then South African National Women's Forum and Crescent of Hope Indonesia. And collectively, we all got together and pooled a database of people that would receive the food today. What started out as this, what you can see here, as 100 days of food, has grown to 300 days in little less than 7 days.
Wow.
I'm amazed at our team and how well they've worked together and how much has come out of this project. We could never imagine. When Shoaib suggested it to us, we thought 100 days was too much. But I mean, we're getting calls as late as this morning for people coming in and saying, can we please get some food? So we put on another 10 days, so there'll be about 70 more buckets available by 12 o'clock today. And inshallah, we get to feed as many people as possible. MFH's goal was 100,000 people for this week. I'd be surprised if they're anything less than 150. I think maybe even more.
During a time like this, especially through COVID-19 and the challenges people are facing at this point in time, I think it's absolutely phenomenal to see a project like this going out and reaching out to those. Just one plate of food goes such a long way. We were talking the other day on the show about dignity and what it does for you. And this is exactly what you're doing, is going out there and giving the people that are in absolutely dire need, the dignity that they deserve. And just this one plate of food is going to go such a long way. So I think it's an absolutely phenomenal project.
Absolutely. I mean, we could never have anticipated the exponential growth in such a short period of time. I really thought last week when we said 100, in fact, last Friday when we were chatting about it, we were sitting at about 50. We were thinking, how on earth am I going to get to 100? And alhamdulillah, today we're over 300. So it's been unbelievable. Our donors have been so generous. We far surpassed our goal in terms of fundraising by yesterday morning. So what we're doing with the surplus, inshallah, to fulfill the Ashura need of everyone, is buying vouchers and sending them out to the organizations. They have regular recipients and they will get these checkers vouchers that they can then go out and buy whatever they need. In fact, CW Pretoria has been called in front of Hyper to help, and we're putting together some hampers as well, because we didn't anticipate that so much surplus would have come in from our donors. And I make dua every day that Allah increases their barakah and their risk and rosy, because without them, we would never have been able to do this.
That is so true, but I think it's a mutual relationship. Without selfless humanitarians like yourself and the companies and all the other organizations that have come on board, it goes to show that people have now changed their outlook towards helping people. It's about empowering and sustaining people in some way And I think this is one of the ways to do it, is to just be able to go out there and reach out to them and give them a little bit of something that can go a long way.
Absolutely. One of the challenges that NGOs face in South Africa is the duplication. We try so hard to make sure that we have coverage all over, and Muslims for Humanity has helped us eliminate that. Because by organizations working together, we can discuss where we're sending stuff, who we're sending. Because you'll have one area, outreach area, that'll have 3 or 4 people that assist in the area. So I'll call Umar, for example, and Nafisa, you'll call Fazila, and then we're giving the same people food. So instead of um, not covering an entire community, we have more coverage. Now get Ash all of us. We have far more coverage within the country if we pool together our resources. And Alhamdulillah, this has worked so beautifully. I'm so thankful to all of these organizations for helping us and for coming on board, for sending out our posters, and for helping us raise the fund.
How do you determine the recipients? Because I mean, as we know, with COVID-19, the challenges have become a whole lot worse. The people that we need to reach out to have become a whole lot bigger. As you were saying, you started off this morning with that many dags, but having to determine that there are that many more people that I need. So you've had to then go and, of course, expand on that.
Just to give you a small example of how we find people driving here this morning, I realized that Avida's trail care wasn't on our list, and I literally passed them on St. Elmo's, so we've allocated food to them as well. But this happens with, as an organization, you always have people that you work with, and you'll know who your donor pool, I'm sorry, not your donor, your recipient pool is. So what we did then was we went to each organization, we said to CW Victoria, what have you got? And we put together their list. We went to CWF Joburg and said, what have you got? We put together their list. We went to FMY, asked them, what have you got? Put together their list. Same with MLSA, same with Crescent of Hope, same with South African National Women's Forum. And South African National Women's Forum, you must understand, is also similar to Muslims for Humanities, that it's a collection of smaller organizations that work together. So all of these people came together and said, these are the 10 people that we service all the time. And if we found that we were servicing as FMY or that organization as well, then we removed the duplication. And we had a lot of them, a lot of that. In fact, as close to yesterday, we had someone call and say, no, you haven't given this area. But turns out we actually did. So we eliminated so much of duplication. And because of that, we've extended the recipient pool, and that's been phenomenal. I don't think Gauteng has had a feed as big as this for as long as I've been.
Most definitely, and I think it's such a phenomenal thing because the amount of people that you're reaching out to in one day through this outreach program says a lot. Where do you see yourselves heading to after this? Because I think this is absolutely, should we say, a heart-wrenching idea of what is going on. I always have this little softy for things like this. But standing here and looking at all these amounts of dags, I think what goes through my mind is the amount of recipients that are going to be able to get fed today on, I think, many occasions where many of us take a lot for granted.
Absolutely. So where do we go from here? I think to do more of these. So as a family, we always do an Eid feed. And I was just saying to Fayaz, my husband is out there somewhere, that we should consider pulling together the resources of all the organizations and doing this for the Eids. Instead of us doing 20 days, we can do 300 like we did today. And also understand this doesn't also have a small impact. We have people that are working here today that are getting paid for the work that they're doing here. So it's a knock-on effect. There are businesses that are benefiting from the produce that we are bringing in. And with COVID-19 having had such a hard impact on our economy, these little things go a long way. So it's not just about us, the volunteers, the recipients. It's also about the people that are working here, about the businesses that are servicing us. And inshallah, we hope to grow to bigger and better. I think we've learned a lot this year. We did make a few mistakes here and there. But alhamdulillah, I think next year will be bigger and better. And we look forward to seeing what the new year has to bring.
I think we're going to look forward to that because looking at this alone says way too much. What message would you like to leave our viewers with today?
I'd like to thank our donors, especially, and our volunteers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you all great barakah in your rizq and rozi. May this be a means of the expiation of your sins. May you have your status raised in Jannah from Firdaus. And we look forward to working with you again.
On behalf of myself and the Salam Media team, we want to actually take the opportunity to, should we say, take our hat off to you for the phenomenal work that you've done in one day, to be able to reach out to so many, especially being, besides Ashura, World Humanitarian Day, And it goes to show that each one of us, is a humanitarian in one way or the other, and that we can reach out to somebody. And I think a lot of us don't know where to start, but it's always starting off a small, like maybe just giving your time back to something as phenomenal.
My dad always used to say that the time you give is more valuable than the money you give. So these people that are working here today, God bless them far more than we can all imagine.
Amin, and thank you so much for affording us the opportunity to bring something so important and so beautiful on such an amazing day to the fore. So I want to thank you so much. And on behalf of myself and the Salam Media team, our love goes and duas and blessings go out to you for being able to afford the opportunity for us to showcase what you have done for those that are facing those serious challenges out there.
Jazakallah for having us.
Sister Asiba Musa. And that's what it's all about. If you take a look at what's happening here, this is what it's about. This is what we say about outreach, empowerment, sustainability. This is what we say. Is let's all go out there in every way whatsoever. Even a small little boy, because a small little bit goes a long way. So it's not about the receiving, but it's about the giving. So my friends, from myself, Nafisa Dango, I want to say, let's not forget about that humanitarianism in us, that love, that share, that kindness that we need to give. And that's what it's all about. So for myself and the team, we're saying, go out there and make a difference, whether it may be small or big. From myself and the team, have a lovely one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Coming to you live from St. Elmo's here in Mayfair West.